got problems. She got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Say hi. What's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to another story time. And welcome to You Left It for a Reason Part 2. I didn't think that was going to be a long story. But since I'm clearing up the random DM, I guess Part 2, I guess that kind of... Yeah. Anyway, because I want it all to make sense. And like I said, this is my video diary. So... I want it to make sense. It gotta make sense. I'm a Capricorn. Gotta make sense. It gotta make sense. Anyway, me and Ty on the road. So we headed on the road and we get to Erica. So I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. At this point in time, like, I got my last paycheck. So I think at this point in time, I think I have like $400. I have $400 to my name, basically. And so, like the meat and stuff, like, I didn't think to take like the meat out or whatever. I'm thinking like I could just go right around our old neighborhood, because at this point in time in my old neighborhood, as I told y'all, when we stayed in the condo, like, it's apartments, it's condos, it's stuff all over the place down the street. So I was like, I'm pretty sure like I can go there, you know what I'm saying, get some stuff, well, right around and find somebody who is doing like second chance, or they having a special where I can move in. At this point in time, they would have second chance or move-in specials for $99. So I'm thinking like I could just do that. We don't have to have, no air mattress, no nothing. I just need a roof and a bathroom and a place for me and my kid to stay. I can figure all the other ish out later, right? So, rode around and look. I went to my old neighborhood, and right across the street from my old condo, it was literally an apartment complex. They had second chance, move in, $99. So I was like, oh, so let me go and apply. So I went in and applied. Well, the application fee is $50, so that take away from the $400. So now I'm down to $350, right? So it's like, okay, here go the application fee, second chance. They ask you like, what happened? Why you didn't pay your rent or whatever? Why is that? Why would that be on your credit report? So at this point in time, the condo is not on my credit report, because like I had to leave. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I think at this point in time I had lost my job. What happened? Why we moved out of the condo chair? Oh. The roommate from hell. Like, money wasn't money in. I had lost. Did I lose my job? No. The girl. It was like I was waiting. I got paid on Friday, so I was like, tell them I can pay the insurance on Friday, because I had to have insurance on it. And it was literally, let's say it was like Wednesday. I really think it was the Wednesday. It might have been Tuesday. And I was like, tell them I can pay it on Friday. She didn't notate the account. She didn't tell them. They came and repoed the car. So in order for me to get the car, it was like over $1,000. Y'all could keep it. And so he was like, why you just didn't, you know what I'm saying? He was like, all you had to do was just keep the insurance on it. I said, well, I told the girl I was going to pay it on Friday. And so he was like, that's not notated in the account. And I heard him talking to her. And I heard him say, why didn't you notate the account? He was like, she was going to pay it on Friday. Why didn't you notate the account? Because this is one of those buy here, pay here places. And so she was like, I forgot. When I tell you, people who not in a situation you think you better, you end up losing your job after that. Because when I went to go look for another car, I went back to that same place. And then I was like, nah, because she wasn't there no more. That's what you get, because you wasn't basically updating stuff like you were supposed to. With your nasty ass attitude. Some black women. Some of y'all. Anyway. So yeah, so my car had got repossessed. Anyway, and so I end up losing my job, losing the condo, and we got to get up on out of there. Anyway, to present time, I was like, okay, like, what was on my credit report was the apartment complex that I had quit. I had quit my job, because that at this point in time I was at the billing office blues, and I was really sick and tired of the white girl. I was tired of the white girl, because you was still, even though you had maneuvered your way, you was in the boss's face, you was going to the boss's house, y'all was playing cards, you was doing all that stuff, you was still going to my boss and was like, she got an attitude, you got an attitude, because you wanted to control me, because now you felt like you really had some, power, because you were going to the boss's house and playing cards and shit with them. nah, boo, like, y'all can have it. And so when I left, the ish fell down because Erica was letting me know what happened because Erica still worked there. So anyway, at this point in time, yeah, now, so it's like, okay, yeah, so that's what's on there. And I was like, oh yeah, I had lost my job. So, and I think it was like, maybe like 900, it was like $700 on there. So she was like, oh, it's not a high thing. She was like, so she was like, let me see. She was like, it really shouldn't be an issue. So I was like, oh, okay. So she was like, let me run it. So I'm thinking, like, y'all gonna go ahead and run the credit and I'm gonna get a decision the same day. No. I didn't get a decision until the next day. So I had to stay at Erica's house, which was already, you know what I'm saying, already discussed. In between that, I don't know where me and Erica went. And she was following me. I don't know where we went. And she was following me. But for whatever reason, she was behind me. And she was like, friend, your brake light's not coming on. I was like, what? And so she was like, your brake light's not coming on. And so I'm mashing the brake. She behind me. She was like, your brake light's not coming on. So she got in. And so she was like, look. And she mashing. Brake light's not coming on. So she was like, I know these people. It's not too far. She was like, you got to get that fixed. I'm down to $350. I'm down to $350. So I was like, yeah, you right. Because in the city, baby, they don't play. You ain't got no tail lights. You ain't got no, they pulling you over. Baby, they gonna tow your car. So I was like, you right. And I wasn't tripping about my car, even though my car was like being held together, like all the ants was on the inside holding each other's hands like this to hold my car together. I wasn't tripping because in the city that we were in, everybody, like, you know, you can turn the corner and if it can be different color parts, it can be things holding it together. If it rolled, it rolled. Nobody was judging about what you was driving. So she was like, I know this place, come on, we can go. So went to the place and he, you know what I'm saying, he looking, he was like, oh, well, to fix it, you know what, I give you a deal. Because, you know, like, you can tell, like, I'm stressed out because I'm just standing there. He was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I just got kicked out. I don't have a place to go. I'm trying to figure stuff out. And so he was like, hold on, baby. Hold on. Older black man, they still on their business. Literally. Actually, he deceased now. But he was like, hold on, baby. So he went inside. He came back with a soda. He said, calm down. And he's like, God not gonna put you God not gonna put you in situations that he haven't figured it out already. And he put you in a situation for a reason. He's already figured it out. He was like, get yourself together. It's gonna be fine. He was like, I'll fix your car. He was like, how much money you got? I'll fix your car. He was like, the total is, I'll fix it for $100. And I was like, I barely have that. And so he was like, we can set up payments. So if you got you can put $50 down today and just pay me the $50 in like 2 weeks. Or you can pay it like in a month. Just come back and pay it. And so I was like, okay. And so he was like, okay, we can do that. And I was like, yeah. He was like, get yourself together. It's going to be okay. Because at this point in time, like, Erica had took Ty, and Erica was like, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to take the baby and we going to go. And I was like, okay. So sat there. Mind you, my stuff's still in the car. Not thinking the stuff that I took out the freezer, the stuff I took out the refrigerator, still in the car. Had to take that stuff out. Like, once I got there, I was hitting the ground running. Find a place to stay. Okay, that put in the situation, hadn't heard from the people. Stayed at Erica's house. Not thinking, take the food and stuff out of the car. So he fixed the car. Cool. Gave him the $50. Did a payment arrangement for the other $50 in a month. And he's like, you gotta come back. And I was like, no, I'm gonna come back. I said, I promise you I'm gonna come back. Which I was. When somebody gonna work with me and you do good work, I'm coming back. And then I was like, and I'm sending people to you. Anytime somebody need I'm sending people to you. And so he was like, okay. Now, mind you, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, so I was like, okay, so that's fixed. So when I finally hear back from the people for the apartment, she was like, we'll let you come, we'll give you an apartment, but it's not gonna be a $99 move-in, because that's what I'm banking on, because I only got a certain amount of money, because now I was down to 350, now I'm just down to 300, or am I at 250? That's what I said. I had $500, $400 anyway, because he had took $50 off. So that took away from my balance. So I was like, she was like, we gonna let you move in. She was like, but the deposit will be $500. I said, the sign says 99. And so she was like, well, yeah, it depends on like your credit approval and what's on your credit. And so she was like, and you having like the apartment on the credit, like, that's what my boss said. So it has to be $500. And I was like, okay, thank you. $50 is not refundable. And so she was like, so you not? And I was like, no. I was like, no. No. I said, I was banking off the $99. And I was like, so thank you. And so she was like, well, let me talk to my boss and let me see, let me see. And I was like, oh, okay. I never heard back from that lady. So at this point in time, now it's like, now I got to go to the internet. So I'll go on my Facebook. Hey, I'm homeless. I ain't got nowhere to stay. I need a place to stay for me and Ty. Help me out. The internet has always come through for me. Hold on, y'all. The times that I have reached out to the internet has not failed me. The internet has not failed me. When I tell y'all, when y'all be like, blood thicker than water, baby, that water has showed up to me so many times. And when I say full force, sometimes coming like a typhoon, has showed up for me. Has showed up for me. Strangers have shown up for me. Real talk. Why blood and people who've known me for years sit back and watch to see what happened. Real talk. Anyway, so I reached out to the internet and I'm like, this is what's going on. Me and my baby need a place to stay. We ain't got nowhere to go. I don't know what to do. Like, help me out. So Paisley had came in my DM and Paisley was like, girl, reach out to my dad. My dad got all these properties. Reach out to my dad. And I was like, girl, I'm not in the country, which I wasn't anymore. I had already left the country. And I was like, but thanks. I'll reach out to him. She had gave me the number. I called, left a message. I never heard back from your dad. I never heard back from him. Probably because at this point in time, y'all had it going around that I was stealing from my mama. Which I wasn't. And I still have the proof to prove it. Anyway. So, yeah. So, I wasn't stealing. Y'all was. Anyway. So, that was a no. Like, I didn't hear anything from it. Because I didn't hear anything from her dad. Because at this point in time, like, I'm willing. You know what I'm saying? Like, my money is dwindling. And I'm willing. At this point, I'm willing. I don't care. I'm willing. I just wasn't going back to my mama's house because I wasn't dealing with my brother every day. And you had no issue when the house was empty. You wasn't even over there. You wasn't even staying in the house that was given to you. It was just, I was in the house. Hating ass. You know what I'm saying? You hating ass nigga. Anyway. So it was like, okay. So one of my classmates who I went to medical assistant school with reached out and she was like, girl, I got a place for you. She was like, you got a job or whatever? And I was like, nope. She was like, I got a place for you. I'll pay the application fee and you ain't got to worry about a deposit or nothing. And I was like, you sure? She was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So she gave me the address. And so she was like, ask for this person. And I was like, okay. So asked for the person. When I pulled up, asked for the person. When we got there, literally like in the hood. In the hood. We are in the, when I say hood, we are in the hood. We are in the hood. At this point in time, I don't care. I don't care. We got a place. If we got a place. Walked in there, I was like, okay, yeah, this whatever. I don't care. It's 2 bedroom, 1 bath. It was a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. Yes, 2 bedroom, 1 bath. And walking around, I was like, okay, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't care. So told Erica. Erica was like, I'm excited for you, friend. And I was like, okay, thank you. Thank you. Because I think I stayed with her for, I think it was like 2 to 3 nights. And so Gifted was like, girl, I'll help you move in. So pick Gifted up, and after I went and put some stuff up, when it got Gifted was like, I'm gonna be over there, because Gifted didn't want to be at her mama house. So Gifted was like, girl, I'll come over there. Because at this point in time, Gifted was back at her mama house. Yes, Gifted was at her mama house. She was either at her mama house or her sister. She might have been at her sister. She was at her sister. She was at her sister's house. Gifted was at her sister's house. And so she was like, girl, I'll come over there. Because we went to the same church. So instead of her trying to find a ride or her paying Uber or whatever to go to church, I would take her. Because my little handy dandy car, what did I call that car? It was a Nissan Maxima. But it was like a year 19. I don't know. I have to look it up. And I'll insert the picture. But when you crank it up, she made that noise, that yeah. Once you cranked it up, but once she warmed up, we on the road. We would ride. We on the road. She ain't had no AC. But we on the road, baby. We rolling. We rolling. We down the window. Right? We rolling at this point. We rolling. So she was like, girl, I'll help you, you know what I'm saying? Like, help you move in your stuff or whatever. Because she was like, I don't want to be at, my mom's house. I was like, girl, ain't no bed or nothing over here. She was like, it's cool. I don't care. I don't care. Like, that's when you looking for peace, like, you don't care. You don't care if it's a place where you going to get peace at. You don't care. You don't care what's going on. You don't care if you got to be on the floor in a corner. If it's going to give me some peace, baby, I'll take it. I'll take it. So anyway, she came over there. At this point in time, I told y'all, 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 butter knives, 1 little sharp knife that I had taken out of my mama's house. I took those when I made the decision to leave, because I was like, I want to have something from my mama's house. And I also took a dish towel. I still got that dish towel, and I kept it because it had my mama the smell of the house. It's long gone now, but I took a dish towel and pot holders because I wanted to have, because I already knew it was gonna be some issues, because issues was already going anyway. So I was like, let me get what I can get now. Get up on out of here, where I can have something that I can be reminded in some piece of my mama. Even to this day, like she gave me a eyelash brush. Like that stuff, like a lot of the stuff is missing. A lot of the tooth and the combs is missing or whatever, but I still have that. And it's something else that she gave me, an eyebrow pencil. And when it got like to this much, I stopped using it because she gave it to me. So I still have that. Years ago, and that was before she even got sick. So anyway, so we go to the apartment, we pull in, and matter of fact, it was gated. It was a gated community. It was gated, so you needed a code to get in. When the gate worked, you needed a code to get in. If the gate didn't work, most of the time it was open. But if the gate worked, baby, you needed a code to get in. It was gated, so like you could pull in or whatever. Get there, we were on the 2nd floor. Yes. I don't think they had 3 floors. I think they just had 2. Yeah, they just had 2 floors, so we was upstairs. And so she was like, girl, this is nice. I was like, right. I ain't tripping on none of that. Like, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. I ain't tripping on none of that. She was like, for real. So she was like, I just need me like a little cover, a little blood situation. Because she would come when it was time for, basically like to go to church. But anyway, So at this point in time, like, ain't no hot water connected. It's water, but there's no hot water connected. So I go to the microwave to go heat up the water in the microwave so we can wash off in the sink, me and Ty. Y'all, the microwave in the sink going, all of a sudden you hear boom. I was like, what the hell is that? Go in the kitchen, Gifted looking like peeping. We looked in the kitchen, it's smoke all in the kitchen. The microwave blew up. Microwave blew up because the meat that was in the car, because then when I started putting, I was like, girl, I completely forgot about this meat. I threw the meat away. Completely forgot about the stuff. All the meat, all the blood, all the stuff drained into the microwave, like on the inside. Total microwave. At this point in time, Keish was, I don't know if what Keish had going on. Keish was in school. Keish was in school doing something. I don't know what Keish was doing, but Keish was coming in town. I know Keish was coming in town, and I was like, dang. So Keish was like, since you get my microwave, she was like, it's in storage, so I'll just bring my microwave. She's like, it ain't no big fancy something, but, and I was like, girl, I'll take it, I don't care. So I ended up using Keish microwave until I got to a point where I was able to buy my own. So Keish had brought her microwave, and so she was like, I could just stay at your joint. I tell everybody, and I was like, girl, ain't no furniture, ain't no nothing here. She was like, I don't care. She just didn't want to pay for like a hotel because she's like, I'm on a budget. I get it. So anyway, Keisha brought that. Keisha brought her microwave. Literally, like, we stand there. I'm looking for a job, looking for a job, looking for a job. Finally found a job. Found a job. Literally, we had been there for like 4 months, 2 months. I don't know how many months we had been there. But Devin ended up reaching out. Devin ended up reaching out. At this point in time, like, I'm still celibate. Like, I haven't had sex with nobody. Even when I met up with my little yeah, we did not have sex. We kind of went to a little level, but we did not have sex. So, yeah, so it was like, Devin reached out, and I'm like, why are you reaching out? Why are you reaching out? Like, why are you reaching out? Why are you reaching out? And so he was like, hey, did he see me somewhere? Seems like he saw me somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Seems like he saw me somewhere, and that's how he knew I was in town. Or did he just reach out? No, he was watching my social media, and I posted, and I don't know where we was at, but he had reached out. He was like, "You're in town. You're back in town." He was watching my social media, and he was like, "You're back in town," and I was like, why are you watching me? And so he was like, I told you, God told me, like, you're my wife. And I was like, Devin, I am not your wife. And so he was like, yes you are. And I was like, Devin, I'm still celibate. I ain't got time for none of that stuff. None of that. And at this point in time, like, me and my little yeah had kind of fell off, because I think, like, his situation that was kind of waving in trouble had kind of smoothed out. But I didn't say nothing. You know, I didn't let him know I was in town, nothing like that. Like, I didn't say nothing. I ain't say nothing, right? So, because at this point in time, I don't think we on socials, on Facebook. I think we just still on MySpace. So I don't think you had a clue that I was in town. Devin was watching me. We weren't friends on social, or what we? Yes, we were. He was watching me on my Facebook, because he had sent me a request. Because when I went to go show Ty's godmom, because when we was still in that house, I went to go show Ty's godmom him, and he had disappeared after I had told him, like, this was done. He had disappeared, and I was like, not surprised. He had disappeared. But apparently you reactivated, because it probably had been 6 months, child, because you know it's the 6 months intervals. That's what he did. He did that well. So he was like, I told you, God told you, God told me you're my wife, And I was like, Devin, please. And so he was like, nah, give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance. And I was like, all right. He was like, let's go on a date, let's go on a date. Where you live at? Where you live at? And so my thing is, in my mind, not thinking about it, it's like, you saw, like, I needed help. And you ain't say nothing. So, literally, I was like, I'm in the hood. And so he was like, I don't believe that. And I was like, I'm in the hood. So he came, you walked around, because I gave him the address. You came, you walked around, and he was like, you really? He was like, but he was like, it won't take long for you to turn this place. It won't take long for you to turn this place, because any space, you always either bring peace to it or you flip it. It won't take long for you to turn this place, which is true. No matter where I am, as you see, even living in the extended stay now, I make it my own. Like, I've always been that type. No matter where you are, you make it your own. My grandparents taught me that. And my mama, no matter where you are, you make it your own. Like, you don't ever, you don't ever compare your life to nobody else, because you don't know what they got going on behind closed doors. You don't. So that's why I'm never envious about what somebody else got. So anyway, so it was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm chilling, like, you walking around. He was like, okay, so let's go on the date. He was like, I'm gonna plan the date. I'm gonna plan the date. And this is when he had planned the date, y'all. He did. Like, he was trying, like, it would still be like a sporadic call or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You would call and say good morning. And then you may call in them, noonday or whatever. And so at this point in time, like, you had a Jeep at this point in time. You pulled up, you had a Jeep. And with the Jeep, like, you still talking ish. And when he had pulled up, after he had walked around, he looked in the refrigerator or whatever. He was like, let's go to the grocery store. Come on, let's go get you some food. Because you need to have stuff in here for my son. So we go to the grocery store. He bought grocery. Put grocery in the apartment. And so he was like, all right, we're going to work on getting you a bed or whatever. He was like, you need to get some cable and stuff in here. But I had like a TV. I did have a TV in there. And I had a DVD player. Baby, top tier. Dependent. Always there. DVDs in the DVD player. Never failed me. Never failed me. Even now when the cable out and we don't even know why the cable be out. Well, they got satellite. We don't know why the satellite out. Because truth be told, baby, if the wind blow too hard, baby, that signal is gone. So, pop in a DVD. If the internet down too, pop in a DVD. Pop in a DVD. And go. So, I was like, I'm cool with DVDs. So I had like the DVDs from Gifted Sister. She had like this abundance of DVDs, and I got stuff from her. And most of the time she was getting stuff from. So most of the time she was getting her stuff from the movie man. Like the man, like they would go in the movie theater and record the movies, and then come to you and sell them for like $3 to $5, depending on how big the movie did. If you put in a lot of money, you get it's either $3 or $5, or they was selling like three CDs for 10. What we call him? We call him the DVD man, the movie man. I think we called him the movie man, basically. So like she had a bunch of those CDs basically, and that's how I got turned on to Twilight, cause she had it, and I was like, oh, this is good. Like that's how I was introduced to Twilight, by watching those movies and then whatever DVDs that I had that I didn't bring in the box. Mind you, our stuff is still at Wildin' Out's house, and I told her, I was like, we gonna pick it up. Give me 30 days to pick it up. And so she was like, yeah, you good, because nobody, you know what I'm saying, nobody's in there. Anyway. So after he did that, he was like, we going on a date. I'm gonna plan a date. He was like, cause he was like, this is ordained. This is ordained by God. Like, I done got in the church. Like, I got money now. I can, we can really build something. I really can be, you know what I'm saying? I can really be the man for you. And I don't know, like looking back now, I was like, girl, why did you keep letting this man back in your life? Girl, why did you keep letting him back in your life? Like, what's so wrong with you? But anyway, so I was like, So he was like, so Friday we going on a date. We going on a date. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm still celibate. So we go on a date. We go to a movie. After we go to a movie, he was like, you want to go to, he's like, you want to go to dinner or we could get food. And I was like, we could get food. That's cool. Because dinner and a movie since high school. So, not knocking it, but I'm just saying, I like to do different stuff. So, and I was like, we can get food. I could be chilling, sitting in your car, and we having conversations, long talks, and all that stuff. I consider that a date. I know a lot of y'all be like, girl, that ain't no date because he ain't go spend money on you. Y'all ain't go get food or whatever, and y'all ain't go to the movies. Me sitting in the car, we can have long conversations, we can talk, we can laugh, and in the back of the car, baby, that's a date to me. That's a date to me. Our own little picnic. Anyway, but yeah, so it was like, okay, we could get food. So we got food, and then we went to this hotel. Hotel wasn't all that. For you to be a millionaire, hotel wasn't all that. Wasn't all that. And so when we went into the hotel, he had decorated the room. It's not funny. He had decorated the room, and he had got me flowers, and he was like, I'm serious about this. Like, I want this. This is us. Like, this is us. And in order for you to prove to me that, you know what I'm saying, that you're in this, I need to break your celibacy. And as a female, when it comes down to stuff like that, when it's a dude, I won't say that we really like, but most of the time it's a dude we really like, or a dude that we really haven't got out of our system yet. We usually conform to things that we really don't want to conform to. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in the next one. I ain't know it's going to be this many parts, but I want it to make sense. So, tune in, buckle up.